excited to show you this house today, and first and foremost, we're gonna check out the exterior of the property. So the one thing about this house, which I feel like is just blatantly obvious, is the views. I mean, literally when you drive up through the gate, all the way up this mountain, you get up here, you really do have panoramic views of the entire, pretty much Sonoran Desert, and it is absolutely stunning. So we're standing here in front of the garage doors right now, and I really like these big modern garage doors that they put on these houses. These garages are 12 feet tall, okay, they're 27 foot long, and we have a total of a 7-car garage. Plenty of room for a car lift, multiple car lifts, and ultimately if you're a car lover, then this house is for you. I really do like when they do the driveway like this, where they weave all this synthetic turf in throughout, you know, kind of the pavers, and I think that adds a really modern, kind of futuristic look to the house when they build these homes. So kind of making our way over here towards the front of the property, if we were to walk up those stairs right there, it would lead us to the front door, which is going to be on the main level of the home. But we're actually gonna go ahead and start on the bottom level of the home. So why don't we walk through the garage and go check it out. Coming right through the garage door, we're immediately greeted right to our left-hand side with our own private elevator. Okay, so that elevator will take you up to the main level, or we could call it level 2, compared to the level that we're on right now. Now, as soon as we walk in, we just have a big open area with a little storage off to the right and a little bit of storage off to the left-hand side. Making our way towards the bar slash game room slash man cave, we do have a huge guest ensuite on the left-hand side with an ensuite bathroom as well. We have a sliding glass door with spectacular views. Okay, now I love the drop ceilings, all of the recessed lighting, the attention to detail is definitely on point, and they did not cut any corners when they built this home. So this would be, you know, a cool hangout area, right? Off to our right-hand side, we do have a really large wine cellar room that they've kind of left blank so we could customize it and do whatever we want, the future buyer could, but it's 100%, you know, it's cooled for a wine cellar. And then off to our right-hand side over there, we have a really nice little, you could call it maybe a nook to play games. You have a poker set over there right now. And again, this is really just reminding me of like a man cave, okay? I'm a big car guy. I don't know about you guys, but I'll tell you what, if I had a bunch of cars in that garage, you know, I'd have a bunch of whiskey up here, some cigars, and we'd just be enjoying life. Now, I'll mention the bar here just for a quick second because I do like how kind of like manly and masculine, you know, this bar area is. You know, you have your blacks, you have your browns. We even have all of our rustic, kind of antique looking backsplash. All of our recessed lighting, obviously, and all the glass shelves. We have 3 TV monitors here, a beverage cooler, a dishwasher, sink, you know, a little bit of wine storage, and then ultimately just a great place to entertain, all right? So as we walk out of the bar, over here off to my left-hand side, we do have another powder room. One thing that I'll note about this powder room is all the tile, okay? You see the tile and the sink, all the way up to the ceiling is just very, very unique. And again, it really does give that kind of masculine type of energy. Let me know what you think down below if you like that powder, but we're gonna go ahead and go right up these stairs into the main level of the house, check out the kitchen and the primary bedroom. Follow me. As we walk up the stairs here, there's a couple of things that I want to point out. First and foremost, and I'm not going to keep talking about it, okay, so don't give me a hard time in the comments, but that view out of that front door right there, big massive pivot door, is absolutely stunning. Unparalleled views of the mountains. Again, you literally have it all the way wrapping around the entire house, which you're going to see when we do all the drone footage. Now, here's the elevator that we were talking about a little while ago, so let's just go ahead and see if I can get this to open here. Check this out. So pretty dang cool elevator. You know, if you walk through your front door, then you can obviously go down to the garage area and the hangout area, or you can just take the elevator up if you have groceries or you just don't feel like taking the stairs. There's nothing like having a private elevator in your home. I wouldn't know because I don't have one in mine, but maybe one day if we get enough of you to like and subscribe on the video, all right? Down on our left-hand side, we have 3 guest bedrooms, okay? They are all huge. They all have an ensuite, they all have an attached bathroom, they all have spectacular views, and we even have a little hangout area, which could be like a little miniature theater room or just another game room. It could really be anything. It could be a kid's kind of play area, whatever you want it to be. And we do have all of these windows on the back of the house leading out into our back courtyard, which is not our main backyard. I would actually argue that our main backyard is going to be the pool area off to the front of the house. But we kind of have a split backyard, if you will, which we'll check out here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and go over to the living room and the kitchen and check it out. One of my favorite things about this property is the open concept. It is ultimately extremely modern and extremely open. So as you can tell, walking in here, these are massive ceilings, and we just have a huge open room, again, with panoramic views. You know, this is gonna kind of be our living room right here with this gorgeous fireplace. We have marble going all the way up. You can even tell the attention to detail again. The slabs are perfectly lined up, so you have all the matching veins in the slabs. I love when they do that on these big fireplaces. We do have some built-in kind of bar area, not necessarily a wet bar, but a really cool bar slash bookshelf off to my left-hand side over there. And then we currently have our dining room situated directly between our living slash family room and our kitchen off to our left-hand side. Now the dining room is currently configured for 8, but as you can tell, this is a massive, massive room, and so we could obviously put a much bigger dining table in here if we wanted to, depending on if the buyer likes to entertain, which I'm sure they probably do. Now off to my right-hand side here, we have a huge sliding glass door leading out to the balcony. We have a fire pit, seating area, pool and jacuzzi, which we'll talk about and show you here in just a second. But first, I want to show you the kitchen, all right? So right here, we do have a little seating area, you know, kind of right next to the other door that would lead to the backyard, or the front yard, you might call it. But ultimately, you have multiple exits and entryways into that area of the home. This is gonna be all of our leathered Taj Mahal countertops, okay? They've done a beautiful, beautiful job here, and ultimately it's just stunning. I feel like Taj Mahal is the in thing right now. I just built a house myself, me and my wife, and we put this exact same countertop in our house, okay? Our kitchen's not quite as big, but ultimately really, really cool countertops, and it's all sold out, right? Everybody wants Taj Mahal right now. So kind of checking out the kitchen here, we do have this really cool kind of glossy type of wood feel. Obviously our hidden dishwasher off to our right-hand side, all of our underlit recessed lighting, including in our floating shelves. We have a 48-inch gas wolf range with our hood, and again, we have that matching what we have down on our countertops up on, you know, wrapped around the hood, okay, which is really cool, kind of brings it all together. This is a 48-inch sink, I'm pretty sure, yep, a 48-inch sink, so that's the same length of the actual stove itself, which is a very large sink, okay? If you're not familiar with how big that is, it is very big. Trash chute and just a bunch of storage in the kitchen. Again, really modern, contemporary vibes, which I think is what they were going for, right? Now, I forgot to mention it a little while ago, but this house is currently listed for $6.5 million by Monique and Kathleen with Russ, Lyon, Sothebys. I'll put all of their information on the screen and down in the description below. If you have any interest, definitely reach out to them. They've been awesome. This house is 5 bedrooms, 7.5 bathrooms at 8,682 square feet, sitting on 4.375 acres of land. It was built in 2024. And with that, let's keep checking out the house. So right here off to my right-hand side, we do have our Sub-Zero fridge and freezer. This is a 60-inch Sub-Zero fridge and freezer, again with that same cabinetry right there. Now we do have a butler's kitchen, I would call it. Maybe some would argue it's a butler's pantry. You tell me in the comments section down below, although it is rather large. And we do even have views in the butler's kitchen, okay? Pretty dang cool. And right off the butler's kitchen, we do have our outdoor grill area, so we could actually open those doors up and meal prep food, or whatever the case may be. If we have somebody cooking food, they could actually pass that food right through here, so it doesn't have to get walked around through the main area of the home. Now we do have another couple of Wolf ovens off to my right-hand side, and another fridge and freezer with a ton of storage in here. And again, you're gonna notice that same Taj Mahal leathered countertop for all the counters, and even the backsplash going all the way up and touching the bottom of those cabinets. So with that, why don't we go ahead and make our way directly around my left-hand corner here and go check out the primary wing of the home. So just before we go check out the primary, I just want to point out a couple of other areas before we get there. Off to our left-hand side, which our kitchen is right there, we do have a little powder bathroom, very beautiful powder bath. Floating vanity, concrete-inspired tile, concrete-inspired kind of vanity, I guess we could call it, countertop that wraps around. It's actually a waterfall floating vanity, which is really cool. We do have all of our recessed lighting in there. And again, there's no walls in there that are just drywall, right? I love when they do that. You know, you have the textured wall on one side, giving it that kind of accent type of look. Directly across from the powder, we do have a home office, okay? That has a closet, so could be considered a bedroom, but ultimately home office. And then that also has a sliding glass door leading out to kind of that whole back area that we talked about a little while ago that is situated up against that actual mountain. All right, so as soon as we kind of get to this point right here where we're at, we're entering the primary wing of the house, if you will. Okay, so the primary wing has its own kind of whole area of the home, right? So, nobody should be coming down here bothering you. That hallway would lead you directly to the actual bedroom itself, but we're gonna take a bit of a shortcut and come through this area here. So these double doors lead us into what I would consider maybe a gym, a massage room, a yoga room. Ultimately we have all of our rubber flooring already in here. Off to our left-hand side, we do have a steam room and also a full bathroom with another shower. Okay, this is gonna be like a full kind of recovery area. Here we do have our wine, or I guess probably a drink refrigerator. Put your Gatorade, your water, stuff like that, maybe some towels, some Fiji water, right? So you can ultimately get yourself a workout and enjoy yourself, okay? Here we are in the primary, and again, you're just gonna notice the attention to detail, right? I just wanna keep pointing it out. We transition from the rubber flooring back to our massive wood oak flooring in here. We do have our huge door leading out directly. We have the jacuzzi literally perfectly symmetrical with that door, which is really cool. I like when they're able to incorporate that in the architecture, where they actually are able to line everything up. I think it just adds a lot of character to the homes when they do that. This fireplace I absolutely love. It's like a matte black, almost like, let's call it probably a marble. And again, it goes all the way up and just very, very beautiful. We have the black broken glass. So instead of like black balls or instead of, your traditional kind of wood log type of look, I really like that black shattered glass down there at the bottom. I'm sure it's absolutely beautiful at night, and maybe we'll get a little bit of footage of that to show you. So there's that double door we talked about a minute ago leading down that hallway, tons of natural light. You're gonna notice we do have a massive bed in here, all the recessed lighting archway leading around the entire bed. So we have, you'll see the lighting. I love how they kind of let that drywall have a little gap right there where we can get that lighting in there. And then we did the same thing up above in the ceiling, okay? You saw that also, by the way, in the living room with the coffered ceiling, and you pretty much see that in every room of this house. They did just a stunning job when they built this thing. Again, built just last year in 2024. Now, coming right on in here to our primary bathroom, this thing is massive. We have a his and hers everything. So we have a his and hers toilet room off to our left and our right-hand side, a closet off to our left and right-hand side, which we could totally customize and build out to our liking, whoever the buyer may be. And then you're gonna, again, feel kind of the modern contemporary direction that they went in this particular house. So you're gonna notice the tiles very loud, very kind of in-your-face aggressive, but absolutely stunning, all right? We're gonna see that same flooring that we saw in that steam room area that we looked at just a minute ago with a full-blown open concept with just the most beautiful panoramic views, again, looking straight out here. We even have a cactus lining straight up with the windows, and all the mountains and the expensive homes in the background is just enough to take your breath away. Again, they wrapped that tile all the way up on the ceiling. You don't see that every day. Again, that's that attention to detail that we were talking about. They did not leave any stone unturned. They really did not cut any corners, and they just did a very beautiful job. Soaking tub off to our right-hand side, shower area right here, okay? And again, just open concept, right? So throw your bathroom mat right here, walk right out, get ready. Nobody's looking at you because we're literally the highest house on the mountain, all right? So nobody can see in here. You probably don't even need a bunch of window coverings and stuff like that. And guys, I don't know what else to tell you other than this is gorgeous. Again, we have more of our drop ceiling with the recessed lighting, beautiful chandeliers up here, all of our pendant lighting in the tile. We even have our little makeup vanity area, recessed lighting down below. Let me know what you think down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and go check out the pool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and check out probably everybody's favorite part of the house, the backyard. All right, now this is a very unique backyard because it isn't in the back of the home, it's more on the front of the home, right? So we maybe would call it a front yard, although our front yard would probably be down on that driveway area we were talking about a little while ago, but nonetheless, it's absolutely gorgeous. We do have our jacuzzi Full tile jacuzzi case, so no pebble tech or pebble sheen in the jacuzzi. Again, we're talking about that attention to detail, right? I won't say it again, but you're gonna notice it in all the details of the house. Now the pool, we do have a tile border all the way around the pool, including on the infinity edge. And then obviously we do have that pebble sheen in the actual pool itself with the Baja shelf where we can put our little chairs that sit in that 9 to 12 inches of water and really just soak up the sun, right? I'm sure that when the sun is out, this house would be beautiful. Although we picked a perfect day to film because today it's not that hot. I'm an Arizona kid and it's probably about 95, maybe 98 today, which I feel like to me is like cold, okay? It's been like 118, pretty ridiculous, but you would get one heck of a suntan right there. Just to kind of point out on our left here, we do have our big Coyote grill, our outdoor grill, and then that accordion style door right there leads actually to that Butlers Kitchen that we were talking about a little while ago. So you really do have a nice little cook area. Again, I haven't pointed it out yet, but we do have all of our built-in speakers throughout the entire home. So turn on your music, entertain, and have a phenomenal time. Now, kind of walking down here, again, off to our left, we have our kitchen, our living room, our dining room. You'll notice that. And then really off to our right-hand side, we just have that seating area that I talked about towards the beginning of the video with our fire pit. And again, what a beautiful place just to come out here in the morning and read a book, read the newspaper, drink a coffee, or at night, smoke a cigar, drink a glass of wine, whatever the case may be, and just enjoy either the sunrise or the sunset or both, right? This house is meant, I feel like to really open everything up, entertain, be outdoors. That's what they built this thing for. And I'm telling you right now, whoever buys this thing, they're gonna do a lot of that. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying to the very end of the video. I greatly appreciate it. I don't know if you've noticed lately, but we have not been making quite as many house tours. It does get really hot here in the summer, and it is a bit difficult to make them. I've been making other types of content on my channel, and I would actually love your feedback. Drop in the comments section down below what your favorite type of content is on my YouTube channel and what you would do if you have my channel, what type of content you would make more of. I would greatly appreciate any of the feedback that I can get because I would not be where I'm at today without all of you. So if you haven't already, do me a huge favor, subscribe, smash that like button. Again, you can find all of the listing agents information down in the description below of this video if you have any interest in buying this home. It is absolutely stunning, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.